Denver Broncos family, brace yourselves, because what you're about to see now is pure emotion. Sunday was Massacre Day at Empower Field at Mile High. And when I say massacre, I'm not exaggerating one bit. Our Broncos didn't just beat the Cowboys. They destroyed Dallas by the score of 44-24. But wait, because the best part of this win wasn't just the lopsided score. What happened on the field was something nobody expected. The rookies took over the game in a way that left everyone's jaws on the floor. And there's more, Broncos country. Bo Nix showed he's ready to compete with the big boys. Stay with me until the end because this is one of those performances you can't miss. So folks, let's get to the facts. Sunday afternoon, our Empower Field at Mile High was on fire. The crowd was pumped because everyone knew it was going to be a great game. But look, I'll be honest with you. The game started in the most unexpected way possible. On the Broncos' first offensive drive, that decision to receive the ball after winning the opening toss seemed brilliant. But then the bomb dropped. Bo Nix threw an interception right off the bat, throwing the ball right into the arms of Cowboys cornerback Trevon Diggs. And look, I'll tell you, at that moment you got that pit in your stomach. The crowd got kind of tense. That silence we know well when things don't start the way we want. But that's where the difference between a regular quarterback and a special quarterback comes in. Family. Bo Nix didn't let that mistake shake him for even a second. The kid has a steel mentality, believes in himself in an impressive way, and more importantly, he has unshakable faith. After the game, Bo himself said something that moved me. I'm not focused on what people think or proving something to my family or friends. I play for an audience of one. Jesus gave me the ability to do what I'm passionate about. Broncos country, what a statement was that? That's maturity. That's leadership. And it was exactly that mentality that made all the difference in the rest of the game. After that initial interception that gave the Cowboys a field goal, the Broncos responded in an absolutely devastating way. And here began the show of our rookies, folks. R.J. Harvey, the rookie running back, took a pitch from Bo Nix and ran like there was no tomorrow. 40 yards later, touchdown. The crowd exploded. Empower Field at Mile High came unglued. And it didn't stop there. The next drive was even better. Bo Nix connected with Troy Franklin on a 25-yard play for another touchdown. Suddenly, we were winning 14-3, and the stadium was absolutely going crazy. That's when Sean Payton decided to show why he's a Hall of Fame coach. The man literally threw the kitchen sink at the Cowboys. He called a direct snap play to R.J. Harvey, and the rookie didn't disappoint. Grabbed the ball and scored from 1 yard. But the most beautiful play, the one everyone will remember, came right after. Bo Nix threw a perfect ball, one of those that only the greats make, over the shoulder of Pat Bryant, another one of our rookies, who caught this beautiful ball for a 24-yard touchdown. And folks, this was Bryant's first career touchdown reception. Can you imagine this kid's emotion? The boy was celebrating like he'd won the Super Bowl, and rightfully so. By the end of the second quarter, we were already destroying Dallas 27-10, but there's an important detail here. Family, the Cowboys kicker, Brandon Aubrey, looked like he was going to have a chance to kick a long field goal, maybe even break a record. But then came another one of our rookies shining. Jahdae Barron, our first-round cornerback, intercepted Dak Prescott with just 12 seconds left in the first half. His first career interception. The Cowboys weren't going to score anything else before halftime. Folks, if you thought the second half was going to be calmer, you don't know Sean Payton. The coach didn't take his foot off the gas for even a second, and Bo Nix continued surgical, absolutely dominant. He completed 19 of 29 passes for 247 yards and 4 touchdowns. And look, that interception from the beginning of the game was completely forgotten. Troy Franklin caught his second touchdown of the day, making it 37-17. And then came the cherry on top. Bo Nix connected with R.J. Harvey from 5 yards to make it 44-17. At that point, family, the game had been decided a long time ago. The Cowboys did manage 2 touchdowns in the second half, but one of them was already in garbage time when the game was long over. And let's talk about the Broncos' backfield. J.K. Dobbins had a monumental performance. The guy carried the ball 15 times and racked up 111 yards on the ground. Along with R.J. Harvey's 3 touchdowns, these two formed an absolutely lethal duo. In total, the Broncos accumulated 179 rushing yards against just 108 from the Cowboys. Total domination in the trenches. The offensive line deserves all the credit, too. Broncos country. Quinn Miners, our monster right guard, commanded a group that opened up huge space in the running game and gave Bo Nix plenty of time to work in the passing game. After the game, Miners himself said, "That's what we've been chasing. Complimentary football on offense, defense, and special teams." Now let's talk about a moment that scared everyone. Pat Surtain, too, our All-Pro cornerback and last season's Defensive Player of the Year, suffered a leg injury in the first quarter. The crowd's hearts were in their throats. Fortunately, he came back into the game. But then, just before halftime, Pat Surtain suffered another injury, this time to his left shoulder, and didn't return for the second half. Family. Can you imagine having to hold down Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens without the league's best cornerback? But the defense, coordinated by Vance Joseph, was absolutely phenomenal. Riley Moss and the rest of the secondary took on the responsibility and didn't let Dallas do what they wanted. Dak Prescott finished the game with just 19 of 31 passes, completed for 108 yards and 2 interceptions. That offense that had been raining points in recent games was completely shut down by our defense. And look, Dallas was coming off a blowout 44-22 victory over the Commanders the week before. But in Denver, it's different, right, family? Let's look at the numbers for this unstoppable machine that is the Denver Broncos, folks. With this win, the team reached an impressive mark of 6 wins and 2 losses for the season. Even more important, we extended our home winning streak to 9 consecutive games. It's the longest active streak in the NFL, family. Empower Field at Mile High has become a true fortress, and there's more. This was the Broncos' 5th consecutive victory. 5 games in a row? The team is catching fire at the perfect time of the season. And check out this unbelievable stat. Including the 33 points we scored in the fourth quarter against the Giants the previous week, we've scored 77 points against just 37 from opponents in the last 5 quarters of play. It's an offensive machine operating at the highest level. For the Cowboys, the situation is completely opposite. Dallas is now 3 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie, and worse, they can't beat the Broncos no matter what. This was the 8th consecutive loss for the Cowboys against us. The last time Dallas beat Denver was back in 1995 in the era of Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. Can you imagine? It's been 30 years since the Cowboys have been able to beat us. Sean Payton came into this game with a very clear game plan in mind: attack a Cowboys secondary that was completely broken. Dallas came into the game without 3 starters in the defensive backfield, and Payton smelled blood in the water like a shark. The Broncos coach literally threw everything he had in the offensive arsenal. There were traditional runs, pitch plays, direct snaps to the running back, short, intermediate, and deep passing games. It was a true clinic on how to vary the offense and keep the opposing defense completely lost. The pass distribution was perfect too. At halftime, we already had 5 different players with at least 2 receptions. This shows that Bo Nix was spreading the ball around, not focusing on a single receiver and making the opposing defense's job easier. R.J. Harvey had the game of his life. 3 touchdowns in a single game. The kid showed versatility too. Caught a pitch and ran 40 yards, then took a direct snap and scored from 1 yard, and still caught a 5-yard touchdown pass. 3 different ways to get to the end zone. That's what we call a rookie completely prepared for the NFL. Pat Bryant isn't far behind either. That touchdown reception of his, the first of his career, was at an impressive technical level. Bo Nix's ball came perfect over the shoulder, and Bryant did what he had to do, held on tight, and went to the end zone. You could see the pure emotion on the kid's face when he celebrated with his teammates. So, Broncos country, enjoying this content? Then don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any play from our Broncos. We're bringing complete analysis, behind the scenes, and everything happening with the Denver Broncos family every week. If you bleed orange and blue, this is your place. Family, we need to stop and analyze the moment the Broncos are experiencing. 5 consecutive wins is no small thing in the NFL, where any team can beat any team any given Sunday. And look at the way we're winning, dominating in all phases of the game. The previous week, Against the Giants, we made the biggest comeback in franchise history, turning around a game that was 19-0 in the fourth quarter to win 33-32, and now, against the Cowboys, we showed we can dominate from start to finish, without needing miracles at the end. This shows the versatility of this team, Broncos country. We can win in several different ways. Can win in a tight game, in an epic comeback, in a complete massacre. No matter the scenario, this team finds a way to come out with the win. Did you notice how many rookies shined in this game? R.J. Harvey with 3 touchdowns, Pat Bryant with his first career touchdown, Jahdae Barron with his first interception. This rookie class is delivering way beyond expectations. When you think that we're in the middle of the season and these kids are already making decisive plays in important games, that's a very positive sign for the franchise's future. They're not having that long adjustment period that many rookies have. They're already contributing, already making a difference. Cortland Sutton, one of the team's veterans, also praised the rookies. It was cool to see all the young kids doing their thing. I have a lot of love for all our rookies. We have some really good rookies. When you see the veterans talking like that about the rookies, you know there's a special chemistry happening in that locker room. Now, family, let's look a little at what's coming up. With 6 wins and 2 losses, we're fighting for the division lead. The Chiefs are still the favorites, of course, but we're right there pressing. And if we can maintain this level of play, who knows if we don't steal the division from them. But even if we don't win the division, with this record, we're very well positioned to secure a wild card in the playoffs. And once in the playoffs, with a quarterback playing well, a dominant defense, and an experienced coach like Sean Payton, anything can happen. Quinn Miners said something very important after the game. That's what we've been chasing. Complementary football on offense, defense, and special teams. When a team plays complementary football, when everything is working together, it's very hard to be defeated. And the Broncos are showing they can play at that level. So, Denver Broncos family, what did you think of this dominant performance? Is this team flying or what? Are the rookies ready for the moment? Is Bo Nix our quarterback of the future? Comment below with your opinion. And don't forget, leave that like, share this video with all your Broncos country friends, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We'll see you in the next video with more exclusive content from our Broncos country. Let's ride.